Hi, this is Dr. Richard Ruling here to welcome you to Total Health Channel and a topic for the beginning of the new year. At this time, many people make New Year's resolutions and would like to help some of you. About half the people in this country are overweight, and these are tips on losing weight for the new year. I've struggled with trying to weigh more most of my life. I'm on the lean side, and I wanted in college to be big and muscular. Took a weightlifting course, but it didn't do too much for me. But anyway, I'd like to share with you some tips that I have learned, because when in medical school, I found that if I ate 3 times a day, I would get up very early to study, and class was 7 a.m. By noon, I was really tired, would lay flat on the floor for 10 minutes, drop off to sleep before lunch. And in the evening, if I ate a good meal, I was too zonked out. I didn't have enough battery power in my brain to study hardly. So I would skip supper. And on skipping supper, I found I was really losing weight when I didn't want to lose weight. I got down to 115 pounds. I'm about 5'8", so underweight, and I'm better than that now, but I'm not as big and muscular as I might wish I were. So, but the tips are simply ABC. We're going to look at the A, appetite suppressant. A lot of people with weight problems would like some kind of pill to just take their appetite away. Well, I've got it for you, okay? It is hot water, okay? No bad side effects. Don't have to pay for the drug, not make you nervous or anything like some of those drugs do. But hot water is excellent about 15 minutes before your meal, a glass or 2 if you like, okay? A lot of what we think is hunger is really thirst, because in the brain, the hunger center and the thirst center are right next to each other, and sometimes when you think you're hungry, you're really thirsty. So take some hot water. Every good weight program in the country is recommending more fluids, okay? And water is the best fluid, and it cleanses the blood, and so drink some hot water before each meal. And it gets things going in the morning. When you drink hot water before breakfast, it helps the bowels get going. And a lot of people are mildly sick in the morning. They don't think so. They don't know it. If they woke up vomiting, they know they're sick. If they were nauseous, they think they might be sick. But most people have anorexia, no appetite. And they should have an appetite after all night, because if you haven't eaten since yesterday, you should be hungry. But when people eat the main meal in the evening and it doesn't digest well, and the stomach churns around and tries to take care of things for hours during your sleep, your stomach doesn't get the rest, and in the morning the blood needs purifying. So until you have an elimination and drink some water, you're not too good a shape. So drink the water. That's A, appetite suppressant. B, breakfast. Breakfast is the best meal of the day. That's when we should eat a good share of our caloric intake. People who eat a good breakfast aren't knick-knacking around at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. It'll hold you till noon or early afternoon. Actually, ideally, in my opinion, if you can eat a good breakfast at 7 or 8 o'clock, you shouldn't have to eat again before 1 or 2, latest 3 o'clock ideally. If you can really structure your day, ideally, you'd have 2 meals, and if you eat a good meal at 2 or 3 o'clock, you don't have to eat then at 5 or 6 or 7, and you can get into the evening hours, go to bed, and you have that food better metabolized and digested, burned it up before sleep. Because when you go to bed and you haven't taken care of all that food, you're going to store those calories, and when you store them, you know where you store them around your waist or around your hips, and once they're stored, it's hard to get rid of. So eat a better breakfast, a good afternoon meal, and try to skip supper or have it light. Okay, if you really need a third meal in the summertime, eat fruit. In the winter, eat some kind of soup. Where it's watery, warm for the winter time is fine. But those are the main tips that I would see. Avoid the concentrated, this is ABC, we're talking about appetite suppressant. B, for breakfast and no between meals. C, concentrated calories like fats. Try to eat whole foods. There's more and more is being done on the internet about whole foods, where you eat the whole plant, okay? And in this case, have some corn, but not corn oil, okay? It takes 12 to 14 ears of corn to make 1 tablespoon of corn oil, like in the salad dressing. So, you know, when you have a dip of mayonnaise or what, that takes that's a lot of high-calorie stuff. And so let's get the whole food. If you eat the olives, but don't have the olive oil, okay? If you really need some for a recipe, if it's a spoonful, maybe okay, you're going to share it with other people. But if it goes in by the cupful in some recipe, that's not good. Okay. So anyway, concentrated calories, and that also comes in the form of sugar. It takes about 12 feet of sugar cane to make a teaspoon of white granulated sugar. And that's the form of what we're eating. You know, eat the sugar cane if you like, or have some grapes, have a banana. Fruit is nice, has a natural form of sweetening for us. Dates, figs, excellent. You know, berries, and they're high in antioxidants as well. So avoid the concentrated calories. D is dinner. We already talked about that. We don't want it. E for exercise. Exercise is a excellent help to speed your metabolic rate. You can burn more calories all day long if you have a little time of exercise, like in the morning or in the evening, for that matter. A long walk in the evening to kind of slow things down for a good bed rest, or in the morning, something really vigorous before you've eaten is good. Gets your heart rate pumping fast and so on. And then F for fiber. Fiber is in plant foods. You don't find fiber in any animal products because it's all digestible. So get the food with fiber from vegetables. It's good for the bowels, and it helps the feeling of satiety, or the sense of fullness. And I would say then G for God. Trust in God. Ask Him to help you. The Alcoholics Anonymous, or the Overeaters Anonymous, the Gamblers Anonymous, they look to God for help, and God doesn't disappoint. He meets us more than halfway. So ask Him, as you believe in Him, to help you, and you can do it. Okay, I guarantee it can work. That's the second G for guarantee. God helps. And just to review again: A for appetite suppressant, B for breakfast and not between meals, C for concentrated foods that you're to avoid in fats and sugars, and D for dinner, which you want to... I forgot to mention, we're coming to E for exercise as a review. I forgot to mention F for fasting. Fasting is excellent, especially if you have a really overstretched stomach and you're really on the heavy side. Don't eat for a day or two, just drink water. Let your stomach shrink down. You hear about people that are lost at sea and maybe shipwrecked and they haven't eaten anything. When they first they can't even handle a cup of milk. The stomach is shrunk down so that they may vomit 1 cup. Let your stomach shrink down to a good size that it'll be satisfied with less. And a good form of fasting for everybody is at night. That's why we break fast. Breakfast is breaking the fast. You haven't eaten since all night long. So and then foods for fiber, and G for God, trusting in Him and asking His help. Thank you for listening. Tune in, like this thing, subscribe if you like. I have a little CD, a couple CDs really, on my website if you want more help. Each of these is a new start for the new year, and N stands for nutrition. Plant foods are best for nutrition and weight loss. E for exercise, W for water, S for sunlight, T for temperance or balance and moderation things, A for air, and R for rest, and T for trust in God. Those ingredients, when you get a craving to eat, when you don't want, think of them, and like exercise, go for a walk, drink some water, take some deep breaths, get some fresh air. All of that can be helpful to you. And if you want additional help, these CDs are very helpful, and they have some of the best doctors in the country on nutrition, how to reverse disease, whether it's heart disease, cancer, diabetes, blood pressure, stroke, brain health, and so on. go to Richard Ruling. My last name is Ruhling, richardruling.com, and click on the donate button. $10, excellent information for your donation. And thank you very much. God bless you this new year, and keep looking up. We'll see you at the top.